He was the man who decoded the universe using numbers, a mind so brilliant that over 2,500 years later, billions of students worldwide are still forced to study the theorem that bears his name. But the founder of human mathematics harbored an ultimate, insanely deep-rooted fear of a bean. To him and his hundreds of loyal disciples, eating a single bean was a crime equivalent to eating their own parents. Why would the wisest man in ancient Greece rather choose a bloody death than set foot inside a bean field? Around 500 BC, Pythagoras was not just a mathematician. He was the supreme leader of one of the most secretive and powerful cults in ancient Greece. Those who walked through the doors of the Pythagorean Brotherhood had to swear an oath of absolute silence for 5 straight years. They held supreme secrets of geometry, astronomy, and a fierce belief that everything in the universe is governed by numbers. But to touch the knowledge of the gods, his disciples had to trade their freedom. They were bound by a bizarre life and death code. You strictly had to put your right shoe on first, never pick up things that had fallen to the ground, never walk on main roads. However, the strictest command, the most horrifying taboo carved into every disciple's mind, was absolutely no contact with fava beans in any form. This ban wasn't simply a dietary preference, an allergy, or the picky eating habit of a genius. In the dark worldview of the Pythagorean cult, the bean held a deadly power. He believed that the shape of this plant concealed the darkest secrets of nature. It was a portal connecting to the underworld, a prison for the souls of the dead, and worse, it carried a biological curse that could ravage the entire human body from the inside out. Swallowing a bean wouldn't just kill your physical body, it would eternally damn your soul. To understand this bizarre obsession, modern historians have decoded 3 shocking reasons behind Pythagoras' ultimate ban. And the final reason is a terrifying medical reality that still kills people today. Reason number 1, the reincarnation trap. Pythagoras was one of the first Western philosophers to preach the transmigration of souls. He taught his followers that the stems of the fava bean were entirely hollow, acting as direct pipelines connecting the world of the living to the realm of the dead. When a person died, their soul would travel up through these hollow stems to return to the earthly plane. Even more disturbing, Pliny the Elder, a Roman historian, documented a chilling Pythagorean belief. If you chew a bean and leave it in the sun, it will smell exactly like murdered human blood. To eat a bean was to risk chewing on the reincarnated soul of your own ancestors. Reason number 2, the political weapon. In ancient Athens, the birthplace of democracy, leaders weren't elected by voting with paper. They were chosen by lottery, using white and black beans. But Pythagoras despised this democratic lottery system. He believed that society should be ruled by a supreme elite class of intellectuals, not left to the chaotic hands of random citizens. By strictly commanding his cult to abstain from beans, historians believe he was delivering a coded political manifesto. Do not participate in the corrupt democratic government. But the final reason isn't about ghosts, and it isn't about politics. It is a highly lethal biological reality, a genetic curse encoded deeply within the DNA of the Mediterranean people. Today, modern science calls it Favism. It is a severe genetic disorder caused by a severe deficiency of the G6PD enzyme. For a person carrying this mutation, simply inhaling the pollen of a blooming fava bean plant or eating a raw bean triggers a catastrophic chain reaction in their blood. Their red blood cells literally explode. The victim suffers acute hemolytic anemia. Their skin turns yellow, they collapse, and without blood transfusions, they can die within hours. Pythagoras wasn't just preaching a crazy cult myth. He was likely observing a real, unexplained mass slaughter among his people, triggered by a seemingly harmless plant. The bean was quite literally a biological weapon to them.
Around 495 BC, the political tension in Croton finally reached its breaking point. An angry mob, fueled by resentment against the secretive elite cult, set fire to the Pythagorean meeting house. Pythagoras managed to escape the flames. He ran for his life, chased by armed assassins, until he suddenly froze. Blocking his only path to survival was a vast, blooming field of fava beans. He stood at the ultimate crossroads: run through the cursed field and violate his lifelong doctrine to live, or stand his ground and die. The greatest mind of ancient Greece looked at the bean field, turned around to face his executioners, and reportedly said, "It is better to be killed than to speak, better to die than to trample upon them." He was struck down right at the edge of the field. He chose to protect his principles over his own physical existence. What do you think about this ironic tragedy? Was it an act of ultimate conviction or the foolish stubbornness of an obsessed genius? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you loved this deep dive into the bizarre minds of history's greatest figures, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to Time for Growth. Turn on notifications because there are still countless buried secrets waiting to be decoded. See you in the next video.